Jai Guruji Maharaj, Jai Guruji Sangat Ji. I will try to keep this in English so that people can understand English also, but I will give you a little bit of Punjabi reference. But Sangat is Guruji's dharkan. So basically, the heartbeat of Guruji is Sangat. So, Jai Guruji. My journey, Shukrana Guruji, started with Guruji in 1997. I was in Los Angeles doing an MBA program at UCLA. When you come to Guruji's Satsang, when Guruji calls you his charan, when you come in front of a Sarup, it's his wish. When does it happen? How does it happen? We don't, we can keep trying using our logical brains, we'll never figure it out. You can say a little bit of understanding, Maharaj is blessed. Sometimes your puns, your good deeds, cross over the bad deeds. All of us carry a lot of karmic baggage, everybody. So once it tips off, and with his grace, only with his kripa and grace, he calls you. So 1997 was this time frame. Nothing major was going on in my life. We ended up in Panchkula, which is the foothills of Chandigarh. Guruji was blessing there. I think Jalandhar or somebody. So the whole setting was a Shamiana. We were there for a couple of days, basically on a holiday, and did not know anything about Guruji. There was no social media back then, so there was no Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, nothing. And no one gave instructions. So my ex-sister-in-law was sitting on the right side of Guruji, pressing Guruji's charan, basically like this. And I was sitting right here in his charan, but the brain was zero, could not understand the significance of that. Now we realize what it meant. And Maharaj himself kind of kept a veil. You really couldn't figure out what Maharaj was all about. Old Sangat, new Sangat, really, you had no idea. So she goes like this and she says, "Here, Kundan, smell. My name is Kundan. Smell this." So from her hands, I smelled Guruji's fragrance. Then the juttis, which are Punjabi mein kehte hain Gurgabi, the shoes of Guruji was lying there. She takes her hand through the jutti and she says, "Now smell it." Fragrance. Even then, the light bulb did not come on. This was 97. Met Guruji for a couple of days, took blessings. He has his own way of pulling the soul when the soul is ready. And he blesses, the kripa, the blessing of how you connect with him is also in his hands. We can try, it's like falling in love. You can try to fall in love, but till you really become zero and you really totally give up yourself, which really is not in your control. If you think you can only fall in love, it happens. Anyway, we'll come to that in a second because that's essential for a direct connection with Maharaj. 2000, which was 3 years later on, total life changes. I was going through a divorce. My father in New Delhi, based out of New Delhi, had passed. I was very attached to my dad, and I was bankrupt. This is over the years, now it's 22 years, I have realized, thanks to him, understanding, when a soul is totally at the bottom, health-wise, financially, family, could be any reason. When you are zero, Maharaj pulls you in a satsang or in his feet. So one thing led to the other. In 2000, I was in Delhi, he was in Chote Mandir. I still remember back then, Chote Mandir used to have a red carpet. So very loudly, Om Namah Shivaya was playing. Again, I'm trying to stress to Sangat, I was not connected. But Maharaj pulls you. That's his grace. So we walked in, family walked in, and Om Namah Shivaya, this is Dolly Guleria's Om Namah Shivaya. So Maharaj used to play Shabad Kirtan and whatever Kirtan very loudly. Could be a number of reasons so Sangat can focus, but regardless. Now, little by little, even then, had no idea, took blessing, sat down. A lot of stuff was going on in my life. He slowly pulls the Sangat with his grace and the divine color, rang, धीरे धीरे चढ़ना शुरू होता है. He starts putting the divine color. You really don't know. It's really not in your hands. The less you use this, I know everyone knows, put your brain in the shoe rack, but really, everything is to do with love. It's all the heart, zero brain, which I realize now. And I'll just give you a little more of the journey. So in 2000, like I said, my life was totally upside down. Maharaj, through his blessings, I ended up in Dubai. The divorce got done. In 2002, his birthday celebration, again, I had no idea because my daughter was meeting her cousins in New Delhi. We ended up in Pariwar. Still did not know the significance. Now, if you know, you go crazy. But again, did not know. So 2002 was that, and then in 2005, I want to stress at that time, in fact, pretty much till 2018, I had no locket, no swaroop, nothing of Guruji. I will say in Dubai, back then there was new entry of cell phones. I had his, like a screensaver, what do you call it, the front page of the phone. In 2005, now Maharaj was very fond of, in Punjab, if you go back to Satsang or even videos, Guruji was not really flamboyant in his cholas in Punjab as much. You can ask folks like Rangveer Uncle, Jalandhar, Mandir, Sangat. But when Delhi happened, I don't know why, maybe Delhi is materialistic. His style of wearing sneakers, Armani socks, just, Maharaj. So the same sister-in-law's husband calls me and says, Kundan, Delhi mein jurabba nahi mil rahi. Armani socks are not available in Delhi. Anyway, this is all Guruji's leela. How, what happened? So I was sitting, I was working with Bhajan Global Services in Dubai. So I left everything and I rushed in Dubai. There's Emirates Tower to the Armani store. I went there. Whatever socks number, I think they're like same size. So I pretty much picked it up and I said, okay, I'll go to Delhi. And of course, he calls you. So there was a Sangat who took me to, this is 2005 time frame now. I would still say, even then, I was really not connected. He keeps pulling me. So I go there, and Guruji's in Chotiman is sitting there, there's a sideboard. You guys know what a sideboard is, like a wooden thing. So he's sitting in a red half-sleeve shirt and shorts, very casually, just like anybody. And there was, so I was sitting with Roma, who's a Sangat of Delhi, very blessed soul. And there was a newlywed couple at the door of the people, if you know, Chote Mandir, standing there. So Guruji looks at this is a few hours before the 7 o'clock when really the satsang starts. So he looks at the newlywed couple and says, fair, married life is not here. Very casually, like anyone would talk. And the bride, I don't know, she said, thank you Guruji, thank you Guruji. Then he looks at me. So I had no conversation. So he says, fair, jarabba mil gayi hai? No reference, nothing. So in English that means, hey, did you find this? Were the socks found? And I don't know how I had the guts, he blessed the guts. I said, Kis tarah na mil gayi Guruji? Now I feel, how did I have the guts to say that to Guruji? But he blesses it. So he smiled, didn't say anything, and he went inside. That was my last darshan of Guruji because I was really not living in India, or Delhi for that matter. So then, when the satsang started after 7, he dresses his chola and comes majestic. Maharaj sits on the throne. And like all of us do here, I was meditating. Then someone just taps me and says, Guruji is calling you. I would say this, for sure in this Sangat also, there must be Sangat who have actually met Guruji in person. You really could not look at Guruji. The noor in his eyes, you just didn't have the guts. I'm keeping the English clean, but you really didn't have the guts to look at him in the eyes. Not at all. So anyway, so I went to Guruji. Even the conversation, now I realize, he makes you spill out your guts. We talk about ardas. In Gurbani, there's ardas. So ardas is basically, again, becoming zero in Punjabi. Cook ke bolo. cry your heart out, strip yourself. When you strip yourself, you automatically gotten rid of the ego. There is no brain working. There's no mind messing up the whole dialogue with the divinity. It's only heart. So he made, again, I was going through, what am I going to do? My Guruji, देखो, family victory, my family, whole, whatever, small family, or spread out. So it's not I saying, there is no I. If I say I, maaf karo, Guruji. So he made me say this, that Guruji family is all spread out, it's a mess. He's smiling. Like he's like, I know, what are you thinking? Once I got you, I got you. So once you're in his fold, and you're blessed in his fold, all of us are. There's no high level, low level. Then he's running your game. So, like Krishna Ji and Gita, the whole chat, he's the driver. This is not needed. Anyway, so nothing came out of my mouth. I said, Guruji, where are you going to go now? I said, Guruji, probably New Jersey. I said, okay. So then, no major conversation, but then he goes, Kalyan Keta. Trust me, Sangat Ji, I had no clue what Kalyan Keta means. Now you read in other satsangs and books and YouTubes and other satsang, Kalyan Keta's significance, I had no idea. Even then, I was really not connected. So this is 2005. Come back to the US, whatever, back to my consulting jobs. I'll fast forward. 2015, we just had an office event and we were just going for, top golf, just a teamwork event. I had a couple of beers, come back home, I have a splitting headache on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe 15. And there was some pressure on my optic nerve and my left eye was drooping. So I was getting double vision. The medical term is ptosis. Effectively, I had a brain tumor right here. And it's called a pituitary adenoma. It's a master gland. The gland size is just for reference. I'm not trying to give you medical knowledge. It's 3 millimeters. The growth, which could be malignant or benign, was 1.5 millimeters. So, His grace. Now, whatever happens in your life, later on you realize he's got the shots. So I ended up in ER. Like in India, you have full of doctors. Not in the US. I'm from USA. So, in Houston, Texas. So, found the right surgeon, and he operated 4-hour surgery. I'll get to the real, what's the essence of the Satsang, like where is he going? So when I come home after 3 days, doctors don't keep you in hospitals post-surgical. Basically they went through the nasal passage and removed the growth, which was 1.5 millimeters, and they did a biopsy, and it was benign. Shukran Guruji. Then when I went home, now because the surgery is here, every breath I was taking for let's say 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I could smell the fragrance. This is 2015. I could smell his fragrance, which I'd smelled in 1997. So this tells you Maharaj doesn't let go of his Sangat. This is very important. I'm saying, you may think, Guruji, any problem, we're having so many problems, cannot do this, I have debt, this, that. Does not matter. Once you are in his fold, let him run your game. But do connect your heart fully. Total connection. I will even say Char. The connection should be with this Char. We just had a Shabad from Bhai Harvan Singh Ji. Charan actually is Shabad. But I will not go into Gurbani right now. Few more sets and then I'll wrap it up. So I was getting this fragrance for almost 3 days. Then, little by little, he blesses the understanding that I am responsible for healing you, mister. It's not the doctors in the medical center. Again, 2000, still I had no swarup, no locket, nothing. So 2018, I want to move fast forward. 2018 again, everyone has things going on in their life. So again, I was going through some life. I ended up in New Jersey for a little bit. My mom was in a nursing home. Some stuff was going on in my personal life. And I started going to the Somerset temple. Aarti was here recently. Aarti and Seema Auntie managed the Somerset temple. Again, he pulls you. I'm trying to stress whether it was 2000, whether it was 2015 or 2017 or 18. Maharaj pulls you in his charan automatically. Now, when we come to the satsang, we are in his charan. So it was a very spiritually significant year for me in 2018 because I was listening to a satsang just like this in New Jersey, and that Seema Singh auntie was saying, she's a lawyer. So she's like, I went for a law case and I had this locket of Guruji. So I see man mein, he reads your mind, by the way. Every thought he knows. Don't be fooled. He knows every thought of yours. So I see man mein, in my mind I thought, maybe I should get a locket. So one thing led to the other. There are two Seema aunties in the New Jersey, Manhattan area. One is Seema Ahuja, there's another Seema Singh who's in Manhattan. Regardless, one way or the other, I ended up in Seema Ahuja's house, and I, in my mind, am thinking, Guruji, just want a locket. Now, when you take one step towards Guruji Maharaj, he takes 100 steps, and I'll show you how. So I'm thinking, locket. I go there, we sat down, she's serving chai, tea and stuff. She, from her own mandir, gives me Guruji's charan, Guruji's one swarup, another swarup, and I'm like, there's a line in Japji Sahib, Dinda de, lende thak paaye. Basically, when he starts giving, and he's always giving, you can open your hands and everything, he pours, his blessings pour, and you just don't know how to handle it. So this was around May 21st or something, of 2018. And I was going to go to Delhi in a few days. So she wanted some stuff to be sent to her mom in Delhi. So, I have to tell you this. So typical Indian reaction, when someone says, you laugh on this one, I have to send some things for my mom or my cousin to Delhi, you're flying to Delhi. Typical Indian reaction is, sorry, I'm not going to do it. That was my reaction. I said, I travel light. Classic excuses. In the night, I was scolded by Maharaj. This is before I went to her house. Don't do this. And the next morning I called, I said, whatever you want to send, please send. Again, he gives you the wisdom. Tell you the truth. So there I go, and she gives me her own charan swarup. I was like, floored. Okay, let's move forward. So now I go to Delhi, no plans of what am I going to do. Just before that, my daughter, her cousin, they're part of the Guruji Sangat in Delhi, sends her from Chicago, it's all Leela, 2 calendars, some old calendars of Guruji, they have a swarup so that there are 12 months, so 6 calendars of each. So she gives it to me. I'm in New Jersey, she was in Manhattan. So I have these 2 calendars, the swarups from Seema auntie. I'm like, yeah, what should I do? When he starts giving, he pours. So I'm in Delhi. I reached Delhi. So we have a house in South Delhi, Lajpat. It's locked. Because we're 2 brothers, we live in the States. So I go there, and then Maharaj gives you the insight. And first floor, so within 3 days, and if you go back to 2018, the Mahasamadhi was on a Thursday, 31st of May. Within about 3-4 days in Lajpat Nagar, and I am not a fabric person, I'm going, getting, frames done and all. He does everything, even Satsang, he manages. So before I knew, I said, okay, Satsang has to happen. Guruji's Darbar has to be made before 31st of May. Amazing grace. And then that night, so I didn't have time to call relatives or anything. The labor, I called the guy who was a painter, there were 2-3 contractors, 0 family members. Because it's not needed, it's souls, right? So we do, put on the phone, go on YouTube, do a satsang, and Maharaj blesses Amrit Varsha that night. So he's looking at, what's your feeling? And I'm not trying to show ego that my heart is very clean. No, I'm pretty bad. But Maharaj teaches you that if your intent is clean, I'll bless you. Then before that, then my, ex-sister-in-law said, Kundan, I have a big swarup for you. They were also not, I didn't even invite them. Maharaj invites. Who comes to satsang? He invites. We are here because he invited us. So she gives me a large swarup, and now, I will just fast forward. This is 1 year before COVID, maybe a year and a half. Again, I had to lock up the place, and I was feeling very guilty. I have a satsang, Guruji's Darbar. We use our stupid brain because we have no clue what he's planning. So this 2018, I'm thinking, you know what, I'm telling the Satsang, now I'm going to lock up the place and come back to that. Who knows when I'm going to go next? Normally we go once a year. Maharaj guided me to inform some very, hukam nahi hai, I don't have his divine command, hukam, to tell you who, but he made sure a Sangat family runs satsangs there. Entire COVID time frame, they are running satsangs there. It is Maharaj's darbar. Who the hell am I? So this understanding, after years he gives you that you are nothing. Just let me run you again. Oh, okay, I just finished. Little one and then I'll leave it. So remember I told you in 2015 I had a brain tumor and I was had a fragrance. Just this is June 15th. It's not even 1 month. So because of this surgery, because the gland is a master gland, I had to take, I'm not going to give you the medicine list, but bottom line, hydrocortisone, some dosage, even for the thyroid, because this controls all the glands, most of the glands. So I've been taking this for like 5 years. I see a doctor, nodding. Okay, good. Okay, so anyway, there's an Indian endocrinologist, just beginning of June, she goes, Mr. Sareen, I think your dosage for hydrocortisone we should recheck. I have no clue, but it's him. I said, okay. I said, when surgery happened in 2015, I was taking 30 milligrams, then I reduced to 25. But because of that medicine, because your body is not producing hydrocortisone, there's other side effects like blood pressure will go up. You could get obese and such. No, I don't care much. But anyway, she said, no, we should check it out. So they have this. So I go on the 15th of June, exact date. So they draw blood, so I have to not take any medicines 24 hours prior. So they draw blood and then they let you sit there and then they inject you with something which would trigger a production of hydrocortisone if their body is producing. And then they take the test and you come back. She sends me an email. She says, Mr. Sareen, your body is producing ample hydrocortisone. Please stop it immediately. This is Maharaj. Now, did I ask for it? No. But the lesson, and this is, blessings always, Maharaj is happening when you're humble always. So you have to be humble. Again, I'm not humble, I have a lot of ego, but you've got to force yourself. When you come to satsangs, just telling you from my experience, Shabad Kirtan, Shilparam, Gurbani. If I have 2 minutes, I'll just one more satsang and then I'm going to wrap it. Promise. So, Gurpurab in 2018 or 19, I forget. This is November time frame. So all Sangat, everyone connects, every soul connects with Maharaj in a unique way. Some people see butterflies, some people see peacocks, some people get dream darshans. It's different. One should never compare, such and such person had Amrit Varsha, no. Your connection, even in a household, don't compare whether you're strongly connected or Sangat. First of all, don't listen to anybody. Only listen to him, nobody else. Take Agya and Hukam only from him. I'm not telling the little kids, but I mean the adults. Where was I? So this is Gurpurab time. When we start the satsang, we recite the Peli Pauri of Japji Sahib. Ekamkar, Satnam, Kartapur, Nirbhav, Nirbhaya, right? Peli Pauri. There are 34 Pauris, I think, of Japji Sahib. So I said, Guruji, I come from Hindu Punjabi family and a lot of YouTube videos, you can listen to Japji Sahib. Beautiful, Hardeep Kaur, I forget the name, but lovely. Guruji, Japji Sahib to theek hai, sorry, no, Punjabi or second English. समझ नहीं आ रहा है गुरुजी. Or actually first request was, Guruji, I'm raised in Delhi, I know Hindi, but probably I should be able to read Japji Sahib. Just he puts the thought in your mind. It's not me. So one thing led to the other. In Houston, you will not believe this, around Gurpurab time frame, I ended up enrolling just before COVID, so it must have been 2018 or 19, I forget when COVID started, but anyway. I end up enrolling in Sikh temple, Sikh center they call it, but Gurdwara, in Houston to learn Gurmukhi with 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old kids. No jokes. Because I asked Guruji, I should be able to read the Gurmukhi. So that's what he does. So I'm sitting in the class and in the house people are laughing, what's wrong with you? And Maharaj, don't look at anybody. So, and now anyone who's gone through Hindi, you probably know the alphabets are K. Well, in Punjabi is Eda, Edi, Uru, right? Stuff like that. It doesn't matter. So within 3 months, with Maharaj's blessing grace, I knew Gurmukhi. And my only thing was, Maharaj, all I want is there are about first 8 pages in Guru Granth Sahib. I don't plan to read, just Japji Sahib. So I thought I could read. Maharaj, I could read. Maharaj made me read. Now I said, now this you guys will connect the dots in Canada. Then I said, Guruji, now I can read, but full understanding is not there. Anything you want, go to him. I go to anybody. So one thing led to the other. Again, a Sangat from Delhi. He reads how you get the message. His leela. In Brampton, you have Professor Darshan Singh. I don't know him. But he has 38 or so YouTube videos of Japji Sahib. One video for one body, stanza of Japji Sahib. Beautifully explained. Now, it's me. I'm not saying everyone should read Japji Sahib. Japji Sahib, Guruji's Light of Divinity, Shiv Puran, Neem Karoli Baba, Yogananda, all Swami Yiteshwar, all these align totally. Gita, they are all the same message. So it's up to you. What will you get? But I just want to share with you, even on the spiritual journey, Guruji used to say in Punjabi, obviously, Menu bina kisi ichha de pyar karo, fir dekho nazare, which translates to love me unconditionally. Now it's very difficult to translate in English. Fir dekho nazare. It's a dare. Let me show you then what I can do for you once you love me unconditionally. Meaning, don't bring a shopping list to me. Don't tell me mera munda pass nahi ho raha, education nahi, job nahi, this. Just become zero, come in his feet. I'm not trying to give you a lecture. What I'm saying is, this is what I've learned. Once you drop everything and then Guruji to sit the soul. In fact, if you feel, I'm sure there is some new Sangat who may feel, well, how do we connect? These people have been around, so it's so easy to connect. When you come to Guruji, ask Guruji from Guruji. Say, Guruji, you give me yourself. That you demand can make. And he will. Shukrana Maharaj.
Jai Guruji. That's amazing.